Anyways, let's maybe check the a bit the replays from the finals, right? Uh, I usually always check my tournament, like whether I win or lose. I always check these. You can always look for things to improve and so on. So let's start with the first one, of course. AK Tech, thanks so much for the sub, mate. So this was the first game, right? This one, like I thought I was doing great, but then I died, right? So let's see whether I was in a good spot or not. So he went for double scout, right? Which I did not really expect. But I saw his second scout here. Like I barely. Like if he's like 5 tiles farther away from me and I don't see this ship, I would have been terrible for me because I would have kept chasing him and wouldn't have gotten a single ship, right? I think I still found a few with this. Like considering he went for double scout, I think my ship count was reasonable. Like not the best, but reasonable. Do you guys know the hotkey to change from one player to the other in this layout? I mean, 6 ship, it's not that much, but he invested into scouts, so yeah. Anyways, so the plan here was, I mean, I think villagers in general in this map are really good because you have a lot of short fish, right? So 2TC plays or a civ like French that has more villagers due to production time is more valuable here, right? So I think 2TC, like unless you're playing a matchup where you're going to die if you go 2TC, I think it's particularly good in this map, right? If you can secure the short fish, or if you are HRE and you have like 20 something sheep, then it's also amazing. I guess against friends, it also makes a lot of sense to go to scouts because this way your villagers are going to be protected for the longest time, right? So yeah, I assume I'm getting my upgrades quite fast here, or that's the plan at least, right? Especially this one, I feel like. I mean, I don't have the resources. I guess I wanted to put pressure with knights. Yeah, because he opened 2 scouts. His military school. His military school is not late, but he's age up and he's following Raxis, right? So by rushing knights, I feel like you can put some pressure on your opponent, or at least that was the plan, right? I think I killed like I think I could have hit the villager there, so that's a mistake. I think I managed to kill like not too many villagers, but like 1, 2. I'm already 4 ahead, right? Because French and he went for the scout. So I think I've killed 1 here. And these are just 2 spearmen, so I can fight this. Yeah, exactly. Like I can just put pressure now. Maybe, yeah, delay his eco upgrades a bit. Now I'm getting all my upgrades, like Wheelbarrow is about to finish. These 2 are on the way, so that's fine. So I decided to go into an archery range. In hindsight, I don't like this in this spot because I have enough knights to fight the spearmen. I'm never going to be able to move with archers across the map because in small numbers, like one Sipahi is really good in these situations. So in hindsight, I think I can skip the racks in this spot and just go super quickly or faster to TC, right? Like I don't think these archers are going to give me anything. So here I'm just putting pressure. Maybe you can force some idle time. Maybe you can snipe like a villager. As long as you're careful and you don't lose the knights, why not, right? I also have 1 knight here checking the stone count. So if he tries to like this, like now this knight is supposed to go in as soon as. Like I don't think I see the mining camp. Okay, never mind. I wanted to go together, right? Hey, Phil Ferdinand, thanks so much for the sub. Yeah, I will upload this to YouTube as well, right? So now I dive here, I get a kill. If he garrisoned here, maybe the knight would have died, I'm not sure. But I'm also putting pressure here, right? So I've killed 2 so far, right? And I think I killed 1 more here. So this is really quite a lead, right? This TC, yeah, like these archers have been a mistake, for sure. Like they have done nothing for me and they have just delayed my TC, right? And I don't think I can ever get overwhelmed with spearmen in like my gold or something because I'm the one pressuring my opponent. So now I'm 2TC and he's about to go 2TC as well. I just this scout here to check for raids, right, and defend. That's good. I guess that's also something good about double scout, right, in this matchup. Like just vision. I lost this knight, which is no, you should never trade one knight for one villager. Like one knight for two villagers is already, I think, slightly good. Like, but not too much, right? And yeah, and one for one is not good at all. Here, I was about to say, like, I think I can take this fight, right? Like, you have, when you play knights, like heavy knights and so on, you have to take these engages whenever you can. Like, part of the value from the knights is the mobility and being able to fight against smaller armies, right? So even if it's spearmen against knights, it's still fine. So yeah, like this game, like let's say I go for a ram pushing feudal, like I just spam units now instead of these two markets. I don't know if he can defend this spot. I mean, army value is pretty close, so maybe he can. With the defender's advantage and so on. It's hard to say. I have already invested a bit into this, right? Like I would have more units. But I don't know. Anyways, I think what I did, I think is fine too. I don't think he has seen it yet, like the trade. It's hard to expect, right? I think this is hard to expect against friends when he opens a school of cavalry and so on. So now I think he's already working towards castle age. Knight for the Mechter, that's more or less even. So now I just want to put the pressure and get quite ahead in economy with like spamming traders. Like I expected he would try to raid and so on, but I don't think these raids gave him much. Like I'm 20 uh, workers ahead. I mean workers plus traders, right? Textile is really important against this style, right? Maybe I could be a bit heavier on shortfish, right? Although my income is fine, it's balanced. Hey Sherman, muchas gracias, tío. Muchas gracias. Um, so how many traders do I already have? Like 8. Like this payoff uh, after a full trip, like towards the neutral market and all the way back, right? So this was my plan. Like oh, I don't have this yet. Okay. Like I was planning on staying in feudal for quite a bit, right? Like in my mind, like I should win any. I should be able to win engage even against a castle age army. So now I'm like 36 economic units ahead. And I think I win this fight, right? Quite convincingly. I sniped the... Really important with the archers to snipe the Janissaries. Like the Janissaries are really good. Like at this point in my mind this game was... like won. Like I thought I was really far ahead after this engage. I assume he went for the Janissary Vizier point. Like how many traders do I have? 25, right? Now this engage wasn't that good. Like I thought I could just overwhelm him, but wasn't really the case, right? Yeah, that was a money shot right there. Okay, I can go back now. Let's just get away. No. Yeah, this engage here wasn't good. I lost all my knights pretty much, right? I could just go back and A-jab, right? Instead. I think that's another mistake in the game. But I still don't think this is lost for me, right? Like, I think now... How many knights do I have? Like, I think now I just go I think I just go Guildhall. I just add Raxes and stop making knights. I think and just go like Men at Arms Siege. I think that should be fine. I mean, I do have a few knights. Okay, never mind. But I don't know. I think I prefer Men at Arms plus Siege. Then again, he has crossbowmen as well, right? So it's not that clear to me that. So that's a easier point. I assume he's getting. Yeah. Now he goes for this push. I could try to raid here, I guess. So army supply is actually even. Or he's slightly ahead, but pretty much even, right? Army value, he's 2000 ahead. Okay, so then maybe I was just dead, even if I had like siege and Minotaur production. What does he have? 17 Minotaurs, 13 Janissaries. Yeah, maybe I was just dead, even if I rush the siege workshops and so on, maybe I was just dead anyways at this point. Like a keep, but I don't know if I had time to get a keep. I have a few Raxes, but I'm just not making men at arms. Making a spearman even though he's not in cavalry anymore. That's bad. This is bad. This should be men at arms, right? But he has doubled the army value. And an army composition that counters mine, so... Yeah, GG. Right. Like, in-game I had the feeling I was maybe in a better spot than I'm actually He has them on melee armor for the knights. I guess that makes sense, right? Because the archers are not dealing damage anyways, barely to the men at arms. So with this in melee armor, it's also like knights attack quite fast, right? So it probably makes a difference. That's really interesting. That's very good. Like this is unusual, but it makes a lot of sense in this spot. So now I wasn't leaving because in my mind I should have won this game, but after watching the replay, it's not clear to me at all. I can leave now, right? So yeah, this was the first game. Never a good feeling starting losing a series, right? Especially, I mean, Friends I would say is one of my main civs, right? But yeah, I also think he's probably the best Ottoman player, or very up there. Like I think he's won. Has he lost with Ottomans during the entire tournament in Beastie? Maybe like all his Ottoman games that I can think of right now, he won, right? You forgot to pick up relics most of the matches. Did I? Maybe. Congrats, thank you, Mr. PMCK. Yeah, Janissaries are amazing against knights. How confident? I mean, I wasn't particularly confident either in semis or finals. Like I knew, I think I mentioned this even in my last stream before the finals, that I knew I had chances to win, but I wasn't particularly confident either. Like I also think I had very good drafts. Like for instance, my series against Beastie, something he's mentioned a few times is that he doesn't like playing mirror matchups, right? And I managed to get 6 out of the 8 games, 6 were mirrors, right? So you may think that like a mirror is a balanced matchup, of course, right? It's a mirror, but still, if one player likes it and the other doesn't, then the player who likes them has a better draft, right? And Mali mirror, Delhi mirror, are matchups that I like a lot playing. So yeah, this game, this is very interesting. I don't think most people have noticed, but there are a few different build orders here. So for instance, I like going with 6 on the tree and then the next one for the dog. Most players play with 5 on the tree and then 1 on the dog. And then B does something new, different. He opens straight for lumber camp. And he makes a lot of manual drop-offs, right? The good thing about this is that these manual drop-offs give you gold in the lumber camp that you can later collect with the official. And that boosts your age up timing, right? So if you've seen B games in this map, like the one against Vortex or Beastie, you will notice he goes for this build order, and at some point he has like 80 gold in the lumber camp really quickly, and he can gather it twice with the official and boost his age up timing, right? But this build order, I tried it like a couple times in practice, and I just felt like I was idling a bit too much the TC and the dog, right? I think you can only go for that build order if your villagers spawn here and your woodline is here, or if they spawn like if the villagers have to walk through the TC to get to the woodline, I think that build order doesn't work anymore. That's how tight it is, at least from what I practiced. Yeah, this map has two types of spawn, so either both players get the woodline in the back, or both players get it on the front, right? This is my favorite map in the game. I think it always delivers really cool games. I mean, I also in general really like water maps more than most players, but this map is really enjoyable for me. So now to here and the house, yeah. This 30. So let's see which field order is better. I think this is a mistake. I think this is a mistake. I think you have to first queue the fishing boat, and Beastie knows this for sure. You have to first queue the fishing boat and then get the house, right? Or so yeah, I think I made a slight mistake here. I mean, it doesn't matter too much in the long run because when you go with 5 at the beginning, you idle the dog sooner or later, right? But still. So yeah, now it's pretty much it's even out, right? I just like sending the villager later, so I scout the entire shore with my scout first. But it doesn't make a difference, right? Like we now are both moving to the woodland. I am getting the official, right? Yeah. So ideally, you want to have the official buffing the lumber camp before they deliver wood for the first time, right? So I think we both hit our build order here. Well, I think he goes for village now usually. From what I've seen, I prefer getting it a bit later. Because doesn't he idle the... I mean, he goes completely out of food, right? To not idle the dog. Whereas I stay in food just to get a faster age up. So a slight difference. I mean, I don't think it makes... Like, it's more or less the same in the end. I just prefer aging up a bit faster. He prefers playing it a bit more. With the early village a bit more. I mean, I wouldn't say economic because this is even, but just slightly different. So he's gathered like our deep fish is exactly equally depleted, right? So now I'm aging up already. It's not yet, but soon too. So he goes back to food at some point. Did he? He's on 2 dogs already. I only have 1. But in terms of fishing boats, it's. I mean, he's slightly ahead now. He's 2 more. And I don't think I get much done with my galley, right? I get this upgrade faster. Second official, ideally. I'm just Not, I don't have the gold yet, but I should click it now. Yeah. So he's on 14, I'm on 10. But now I'm catching up, right, as I create some idle time. So it's gonna be quite even in the end. I don't think I killed a single one, right, but some idle time, some repair. Don't lose the scout. So it's now 14 against 14. Have wheelbarrow and the wood upgrade already? Yes, the wood upgrade. I think I'm also starting this quite soon, I think, on the gold one, right? The gold one is at the same timing. Also, one little detail in this map, when you have two lumber camps, get forestry from the one that doesn't have taxes, right? So you can collect it. Because if not, you're just stacking a bit too much in this one. But this game, I think I just forgot to click it. He has two hulks and a galley, right? So I'm slightly ahead in fishing boats and also in my eco upgrades, but nothing too big, right? Usually I like having this upgrade by the time the close short fish are running out. Like this, like the farther away the deep fish is, the more impact this upgrade has, right? So you definitely want to have it by the time these two are depleted, right? When they start moving out, basically. This is 4-1. So very even game, I would say right now. I get my Song Dynasty also a bit quicker. Oh, I did click forestry. Oh, and even in the right one. Okay, so I did it. Yeah, this... I lost my scout at some point to the TC, I assume. And this actually is really... Like, this should never happen. But now I think he overextended a bit here. Like, now I have to rush like a couple horsemen. Thankfully, it's just like 2 or 3 archers, so it's not like he's gonna kill 20 villagers, but just the idle time is already massive. But now I get a good engage here. Like I just rush in, snipe the arrow ship, and also baited these to attack my warjunks, right? Because these warjunks sometimes, like if you right click something that is, let's say here, sometimes they will just shoot whatever is in front of them, right? So they tank the attacks for the demo ships. So now I clean this with the horsemen. I think I probably lost, I don't know how many villagers, like 2 or 3. This is a bug, by the way, like you lose vision in woodlands, like when you're above these trees, you lose vision for whatever reason, so he couldn't attack. But I still think he killed 4 this game, and I've killed 2, but I assume this is 2 fishing boats, right? I managed to get even more hits, right? You need 5 to one-shot a demo, so if you see less than 5, you can usually go for it. I mean, if he uses some micro with like taking into account the formation displacement, then he can still kill them, but you can go for that. So at this point, I think I'm quite ahead, right? Mostly due to the, I mean, not like I've killed a few fishing boats. He's only gathering with 4 right now, and I think I'm about, like at this point, I think I should win, always should win the water, right? Like 6-1, 7-3, and he's in the corner, right? Like you really never want to be in the corner because you cannot kite back to not get hit by the demos, right? But in this spot, he was forced to. Muchas gracias, Edu. Muchas gracias. Yeah, this is very good by him. Like as soon as I'm close, he starts producing demo ships in every single dock. So if I overstay here, and he suddenly gets like 2 demos popping out and killing my entire fleet, the game is back to even, right? So I have to be really careful, especially against China because they produce really fast. Like you really don't want to dive the docks unless you have seen like a Hulk spawning from this one. Then you can stay around for like a few seconds, but it's you have to be really careful. So now I try to boost in. Yeah, so I managed to snipe his demo ships and I get really good shots there. And at this point, yeah, the water is already gone, right? Like he's not producing anymore. Like he knows that the water cannot be won anymore, so he's gonna try to go like multiple DCs and boom in land, right? I've seen him win this map a few times in practice against other players after losing the water. But in those games, I think I think he was HRE most of the time, so you get the relics and then Suavi eventually. And also he didn't lose it in feudal, right? I think it was more like in a castle age or something. Like when you lose water in feudal age, I feel like it's really hard to come back, right? Like he wanted to go palace guards and just maybe overwhelm me, right? But I was in time to get my own palace guards, right? And then my food income is just, I mean, right now it's worse, but it will be way better, right? With water, and eventually I will also get docks here, get this very close to the fish. Even probably getting a transport ship and putting a dock here, so these three are delivered closer is correct, right? And another here. Like you really want to reduce the travel time of these fishing boats as much as you can. Yeah, so at this point I feel like I just need to overwhelm him with palace guards. Like his ship will eventually run out, and then he will need to either go farms or go here, and this is where I can just really kill him, right? So I think, yeah, this is for TCs, right? Not for a castle. But the income is just... Now, I know some players go into trade ships as soon as they win the water. I really don't like that. I think you can... I think, in my opinion, maybe I'm wrong. I think you can delay that quite a bit. Like, I think there are more like relevant things to do before you go full trade. Like securing resources. Like, maybe, I mean, if you can kill your opponent, then I think that's better. But like, I don't think the income from this is that great. Like, I don't think this gives you a better income than 20 villagers here with the Imperial Official boosting, right? The good thing is that it's safe and that it never runs out, right? But as long as there are this many resources in the map, I don't think I want to go trade ships. But this has more to do also with my style, right? Like more defensive players or players who enjoy more the late game will probably go faster into trade ships, just not me. Uh, hey, Psych Out, thanks so much for the summit. Also, I think yeah, I have my range upgrades ready to dive his TCs, right, with my palace guards, and then I'm just gonna get this one, so I win the palace guard mirror, if you will. Ah, so he was in this woodland. Yeah, that's a smart. So I'm getting this upgrade really important, right? When you have this many fishing boats. I mean, at this point, like the difference in income is just too big, right? Like it's just a matter of spamming palace guards and attacking, basically. Like he has triple TC, but I have my range upgrades, right? And he doesn't have this, so they don't really deal damage. Like is it one or two? It's one damage per shot, right? So yeah. But especially against Beastie, you really want to finish. Like if you have a chance to kill him in the early game, you or the mid game, you better take it because when it gets to the late game, he's really strong, right? Like I could go like some players will go here into trade ships and just play the very long game with the co-advantage, but Beastie is the kind of player that can come back in this type of spots, right? So I just prefer going for the kill. Uh, hey Caleta, morning. How's it going? Okay, so let's keep going. Uh, let's go into game three. I mean, this was the Ava mirror in Volcanic, right? I when he aged up to Castle Age, I was really shocked this game. Like in my mind, I was doing more or less fine, but I think he balanced his economy the entire game way better than me. Like when the game finished, I checked the whole map and he still hadn't needed a single farm, right? Like his macro was very good here. Also, I think he noticed that this is the map I've been beating the entire tournament, right? Um, like this was the first map he picked in the draft, and also, I mean, like, he won it against B as well, so maybe he just likes the map, right? Whereas for me, this map hadn't really practiced too much because when I saw the map, to me it felt a bit like hideout. Like there's maybe some action, but eventually I have the feeling the map just gets walled and you get involved into this type of game with stone walls in both sides and stuff like that. But maybe that's not actually true. So I've seen this. They open lumber camp immediately. I guess because the straggler trees are slightly farther away than usual in this map, right? I think I only got one tree and then I went for the lumber camp, right? I'm not sure if this is good or not. I guess a Sabasit maybe you don't really need a straggler tree because the dock is way cheaper, right? Yeah, like it doesn't feel like it gave me much, right? This tree. Like he's not idling, so maybe this is just the play here. Muchas gracias, doctor. So let's speed up. So this map, I think most people play Culture Win. I saw Marine Lord against B, where Marine Lord went for military and spearmen early and like rams and so on. So, but yeah, then again, this map, like I think I played it once against Marine Lord in practice, which I lost, and then I played it like maybe a couple times with Vortex. Because you could always ban one map except for the grand finals, right? But I think that's a mistake in my approach towards the tournament. Um, like I think ideally you know how to play every single map, and then depending on your opponent you adapt, right? Depending on their strengths or weaknesses. Like this is something Beastie does, for instance, when he goes into tournaments. Like depending on the opponent, he will pick Holy Island as a home map or ban it, right? Whereas some other players just have the map they don't like and they just ban it every single round, right? Like it's different approaches. Hey Magnothera, thanks so much for the 3 months in advance. Thank you, mate. Congrats on the tournament. Thank you. So let's see. Okay, so he's rallying fishing boats there. He has this that as well. So right now he has like, I mean it's even, right? My age up is slightly faster, but these dogs are gonna be really annoying. Like something he did very well here was pulling a villager immediately to attack my villager, so I could never get a dog right now. My villager decided to try and garrison in the opponent's TC, which usually doesn't work. So now he's got dogs in my fish. I don't have dogs on his, so this will be a problem eventually. Okay, so I got the Golden Age now. He got it earlier, I think. So, why is my income so bad compared to his though? 'Cause we have the same, barely the same, or my income, my food, or my balance, or like somehow he can age up and I cannot, right? Maybe it's the eco upgrades that I shouldn't be getting. I guess this is just bad, right? Maybe it's just better to age up. So I guess this is maybe the main reason. Then again, I don't have food anyways, right? I just don't know why. Hmm. I should have more here for sure. This dog doesn't make sense because there's no deep fish here. This is a very random thing to do, right? Not even a galley. This is just wrong. Like I think I didn't scout the whole thing and I assumed there would be a deep fish and not really, right? At this point he's aging up and I'm not even close to click, right? Hey Magnothera, thanks so much for the... Yeah, I've been thinking about the deep analysis series because with 6 new ships, it should go from 100 to 256, right? But that sounds like too many. If I were to continue that series, right? You're not allowed to play with yellow? Usually yes. I'm not sure why we decided to go for these colors. But I think the observer can set it up in such a way that regardless of the player's color, um, he sees red and blue, right? But yeah, we eventually went for these colors. We talked about it during the first game with Patito, but I don't remember what. I think initially we had picked yellow and green, and that wasn't good for the stream, right? So we ended up with this. So now I have some rams like trying to kill dogs. Um, I've secured this one. This second galley is really bad. Yeah, I'm making some moves that when I watch the replay don't make, like this dog for instance is just wrong. And now here I was really shocked that he could age up. But the age up didn't give him that much, I think. Because I had a few spearmen, so the camels more or less died quickly. And he didn't really rush the relic. Oh, maybe he did. Yeah. But I think I could protect this for a while with a galley, right? So maybe this dog in the end had its use. So this is still even, right? He's H3 and I'm not. I'm clicking now. But I don't think this is an unplayable spot for me, right? Maybe I should just go into stone rather quickly and start thinking about disease. I was just scared with the age up gap that he would kill me with men at arms. So that's why I think this was initially to get like feudal camel archers. But eventually I just didn't. Hey Luigi, thanks so much for the bits and thank you. When Beastie is up, he just had speed. Yeah, I was scared about that. So I went into archery ranges thinking that maybe I could win sometime with few camel archers and then crossbows. But he was thinking more about the like just getting to the late game, right? Like he just secures the relics, eventually goes into stone to get extra disease. I think he was just thinking about just going for the longer game, right? But still he put some pressure here, created some idle time, and in the meantime he's getting few relics, right? Like it was 3-2 in the end, if I recall correctly. So now I'm even slightly ahead in workers, right? I still think his spot is better, right? Now he's gonna. I wonder if this was initially for a keep, or if he just gets the stone he needs for both PCs and then just builds them. Yeah, so now he's gonna go up to 3 TCs. I more or less clean this army. Yeah, this doesn't look. This looks more or less even, no? At this point, I think. I mean, if instead of being this heavy on gold, I go very heavy on stone now and get like TCs as well. Like I think this is a playable spot, right? Like I think in water I've made a good. I don't think I ever scouted this one. Like I think the galley can move through here. I just didn't see it. But in terms of defense, he has like one, two, only two, right? Whereas I have one, two, three, four, five. So if I go into extra TCs myself right now and eco upgrades and so on, maybe this is not a bad spot for me. Sorry about that, guys. I mean, so far I've been really lucky that it hasn't happened during a tournament game, because this is not the first time or the second that this happens. Yeah, kind of annoying. So, what do I do now? As in, do I start again from the beginning? Because I wanted to upload this um, to YouTube, but maybe I guess Twitch keeps the VOD, right? Even if I crash, so I can download that and maybe I just continue from there. Oh yeah, right. So maybe I can just continue with like game 4. Yeah, game 4. One, two, this one, right? You should be, yeah, like my local recording is corrupted, like I cannot open it, but it in Twitch it's still up, right? So that should be fine. Okay, so let's keep going. So game 4. So I had watched Beastie against B the previous day in this map, and I noticed they just rushed like the Relic and then into like really fast to Castle Age with that wood and then even to Imperial, right? So I thought I could punish that playstyle with knights pretty much, right? Because when you don't have blacksmith upgrades like the range ones, TCs do almost nothing to knights, right? Like even if this is fully garrison, it's like 30 HP per volley, and that's 15 idle villagers, right? So knights should be really good in this spot, I thought, especially if you don't have the spear count, right? Which he shouldn't be able to if he went for the same build order than he did in his previous matchup, right? Also, like in the previous round, I played English here, so I don't think he was expecting HRE. I think he was expecting me to pick English in this map, because that's what I did against Marilor. I had this, I think, quite cool build order with White Tower and so on. Now, I don't know if this is a bug or not, because I don't really have a woodline, right? I mean, like this is really far, this is really far, and this is the closest one, but it has like 10 trees, right? But I guess it's the same for him, so it's just an unusual spawn. I think it's like maybe it's even better for me, right? Because he doesn't really have wood at all. Like usually, like ideally, you get a spawn in such a way that you can put the chapel next to wood, like melee range, and it hits both gold and food, right? So like maybe a chapel here, would be actually really good. Because it hits goals, it hits foot. I can pull this deer towards here. So maybe actually my spawn is better here than his. Yeah, I think I prefer my spawn. I just kind of mess it up by placing my buildings here. Like the mining camp should be here, and then I think the chapel has to be here. And then this is actually a better spawn for me. Yeah. Are you using OBS? I'm using Streamlab OBS. Hey Blue Goose, thanks so much. So yeah, now I'm pulling the deer. It's kind of awkward when you pull them towards your villagers because then they get scared from the villagers and it's a bit annoying. Like maybe I could have stayed here eating them for a bit and I can pull the deer much easier. So eventually I just decided, whatever, let's just put the chapel here and kill them. So I've noticed most players only build the chapel with 5. I assume it has to do with how many villagers a prelate can keep inspired, right? Which is probably like, I actually don't know, like 6 or 7, right? So you basically have the amount of villagers that the prelate can inspire working and the rest on the chapel, right? I guess that's the logic. 8? Is it 8? Okay. Is it worth it or not to go for the boar in the middle? It delays your castlage timing. Like if you watch Beastie against Vortex in this map, for instance, like Beastie was going for the boar, but after that game he stopped, I think because he realized that it just delays your age up and you lose the relics and then maybe you can even get kicked out of the boar. But then Marine Lord did go for the boar against B, so it's unclear to me what's the best approach. I think both styles are playable. So he's now gonna go for a very quick age up in order to get relics. So I went for an early horseman. I didn't expect to deny this relic, but I just didn't want him to steal any of these, right? Like if he just age ups like a minute earlier than me and he steals one of my relics, then it's really bad, right? And the good thing for me is that I have stables as soon as I hit Castle Age, right? So I can make knights. That's the trade-off, right? Like I lose a relic, but I win map control, pressuring his villagers, the sacred site, and the boar. That was the plan. Also, this horseman also delayed quite a bit how fast he got his own relics, right? Which is, it makes a difference, really. Because this is kind of insta 160 income per minute of gold. Hey JD, muchas gracias, tío. Muchas gracias. Muchas gracias por los bits y por el mensaje. Now he already has 3 relics on the landmark, and I haven't even age up yet. Yeah, I was scared about this at this point. Now my question is, if he just goes completely out of gold and heavy into wood, can he have defensive knights in time? Like let's say he does this quicker and these are already in the wood line. Can I actually get anything done with the knights? Maybe not. If that's the case, then my build order is just bad. Or it's just assuming that my opponent will go fast Imperial and not make units, right? Yeah, I don't know. So now I finally age up. Get the 2 relics, start with the knights, and eventually I will get the boar on the side, right? Yeah, but he has like 1,000 gold. Like if this was, I don't know, 500 wood, he can get 3 stables, right? So I think he could be making knights already, and then I don't think I like my spot, right? So I think it was just a matter of him not expecting this build, and I think he was just going fast imp. Yeah, now I think this is like you really like he had to make the tower, but I don't like. Ideally, I think you wanna get a second Rax, right? Just to be able to make enough spearmen to defend. He's struggling with wood, so my goal here is to idle his wood income, right? Like I don't want him to be able to go up to like 3 barracks or anything like that. So I just have to keep pressuring here, and then I think there's no way for him to ever defend. I think like right now he cannot gather wood, and he doesn't have a way to spend his gold and food, right? Like I don't think this is him necessarily wanting to go to Imperial, but just not being able to get production going, right? So at this point, like this deal 2 per shot, right? Like knights are so good in these spots, I feel like. So yeah, that's game 4. Why is he queuing? I mean, he had resources, right, and no way to spend them. So having more prelates is better than nothing. Like the issue there is that he didn't have access to wood and he didn't have the production buildings, right? But I think if after getting the relics he just switch into wood immediately, I don't know if I like my spot there. Because then I guess I needed a tower in the middle to secure the villagers gathering the boar, and maybe it's playable from there. Keep in mind that the gold per minute income difference is just 60, right? Because I have the site. Okay, so game 5, another mirror matchup. I was looking for this one. In general, yeah, I think I mentioned this already. Like, if a player doesn't like to play mirror matchups, uh, then you want to play mirrors against him, right? Especially if those are mirrors that you like Cherry Mirror in Mountain Clearing, I like Mali Mirror in general, I like, and Delhi Mirror too, right? So the start is very similar. The trees are more or less the same distance, right? Like maybe his tree is slightly closer, but not really a difference, right? And I think we both went for the same approach here. Like we gather 1 tree, then we went to the wood line, and then we mass houses around the pit. Actually, okay, so he makes 4 and then the lumber come. And why did I only make 2? Not sure. So maybe his build order is slightly better here. Not much of a difference, right? But still. 12, 7. Ah, I barely missed these ones. So this was for the first few minutes a very passive game from both of us, right? I just feel like like my gold is in the back, his gold is kind of in the back as well. Um, so I don't think. Also, the woodlines are also in the back, right? So I don't think you can be really aggressive here. I think you are kind of forced into this kind of game, right? It's a very symmetric spawn, right? Like he even had to chop a tree to get the whole thing, just as I would need to, but I didn't do it. So I'm aging up slightly quicker here. But a Smiley that's good, right? Because you get the gold income a bit quicker. But so far a very even game. Yeah, I'm not sure why I have so many in food. It should be only 4, like he has, right? Like that's like I'm only producing villagers, right? I don't need more than 4. And I will need the wood to get like the second pit my and so on. So maybe a slight mistake. Yeah, why? Okay. Oh, but this is still too much, right? Okay, I realized in time. Okay, so I'm getting my Trico upgrades already. He first gets the cows. I guess it's very similar, right? In the end, I'm not sure what's better. Maybe getting the cows is better. Yeah, I don't think Wheelbarrow gives you this much in comparison with right. So he has already 6 cows and I don't have a single one. Second pit mine timing, very similar. So nothing really happening right now, we're just both macroing up, right? Going for the late game, I guess. Or mid game, rather. He gets stable now. I think I scouted this one. I'm not... I think I saw the first sofa. I'm not... Okay, I know, I saw the stable, okay. And the sofa as well, so that's quite good for me. Okay, so he's already on like 15 cows or something. I've catched up, right? More or less. I never added that house, I think. So he made this cool move where he kills the ship here, so I cannot get the landmark in place, right? Like I have the resources to age up, but I just have to gather the ship, right, before building it. Okay, so now I'm aging up and I have the 18 cows. He has 20. So he was up to 20 in the ranches. I usually stay on 18 and then have like 2 here just to eat them. Like I'm trying to kill these corpses all the time and getting more cows, so I stack like a few there. I prefer that over getting the 20. So now I think I made a mistake. Like I think these 14 should all go to wood, or most of them should go to wood. Probably all of them, right? And I think yeah, this 7 went back to food. Okay, so now I hit castle it slightly earlier. So I thought this was buffed by the Grand Fulani, but Salami told me it's not, that it needs to hit like a tile or 2 more. But how can you know though? Is there any way for me to know? Not really, right? Like it says 96 for both. So I cut at the bottom does not in and will not generate. Yeah. How do you know though, or have you tried? The +4 doesn't show up. So you have just tested, I assume, in like games. Ah, there's this +4 thing. I moved across the map with the dungeons because he only had like few sofas, so I thought, why not, right? I mean, I created some idle time. Don't think I killed like a villager at all. But this is slightly annoying, right? Why not? Okay, yeah, vale. So yeah, this is out of range. So I guess it should be here instead. So now like, let's check the production. Yes. Like, his eco balance here is better than mine. You see this? Let's check the... Yeah, this is what I mentioned, that I should have gone really heavy into wood. He did, like, I hit it. So he has like 6 production buildings and his economy is very balanced, right? He can spend his resources. But I was struggling a lot for wood, so I couldn't get as much production as I wanted to. And I was starting to float food, which is not good. I don't have blacksmith yet. I just didn't have wood, right? It was my issue here this game. So I saw Raxes unstable, so I thought Musafadi should be good against that, right? Also, Musafadi is a smooth unit to make as Smally. because it goes food and gold, right? And you have plenty of that as Malian. The third pit mine maybe I could be taking already. But again, my issue here is that I don't have wood. I don't think I should be investing into an outpost when I'm struggling so much to make production buildings. Like I think I saw his Musafadis and I thought I need vision and maybe something to garrison, but this is just not good. I don't think no. Like I'm on 2000 food. This can now be permanently cloaked, which is nice. To make this kind of plays, right? Oof, if I had only seen those. Okay, so I'm getting my first blacksmith now. Putting some pressure on the villagers. Not sure if I... Like I delayed the pit mine, but I'm not sure if I actually killed one. I lost a monk here, I think. Yeah, I lost a monk there. So I killed like one villager. And delay a bit the pit mine. I mean, it's fine, but... I think he forgot clicking the food upgrade, right? I think this one is quite valuable. With the cows and so on. But yeah, I'm still... I mean, now I have enough production, I think, that I will stop floating wood. And I even decided to go into archers despite being struggling for wood, right? So now it's really important. I should be protecting this unit with like a something, right? Like not just send and hope for the best. So the relic count is 1+1 for him, right? So it's gonna be 2. And for me, I mean, this is about to be... Like I've secured 1 and he's secured 2 so far, right? I mean, and 3 for him, right, with this one. But I'm creating some idle time in the villagers, like these 3 Musafadis here are making a lot for me. Especially considering he needs wood now, right, to make more production. So the fact that I'm idling his wood income is massive here. And it's just 3 units, right? And at the same time I'm fighting in the front, but this isn't going that well for me, but this is the big deal. Hey Primity FCS, thanks so much for the prime rate. I'm still flooding a lot of food. This is not good at all, right? Like I can almost age up to Imperial, which is not nice. But now I have my production buildings going for the most part, so I should be able to spend all these resources, right? On the other hand, I think he's made a better job here balancing the economy, right? But I've gotten quite some idle time with a few run-bys. I also think my composition, like I don't think the sofas are good here against Mass Musafadi, right? So relics 2 against 1. I'm getting a sacred side. Here I think I'm trading reasonably well. Even though he has more blacksmith upgrades, he doesn't have the upgrades that would actually have an impact in these kind of fights, right? He went for the upgrades, the range upgrades to be able to dive better with sofas and Musafadis and so on. But in this fight, that's not giving him much, right? Whereas I only have 1, but it's actually does 1 damage, right? Also, he has a few units here defending, so this trade is reasonable for me, I think. Now I mean, I'm still floating some food, but it's not as bad, right? Okay, so... In terms of relics, he hasn't gotten this one yet. And I have a sacred side. So right now my passive gold income is slightly better. I lose 1 more monk here. That's a good move by him, right? Like even if the sofas lose the direct engage against Mustafadis, the fact that they are faster is very valuable too, right? So now I'm 30 supply ahead already, right? So I think I'm in a very good spot here. But I made a massive mistake here. Like these Donsos, to me they came out of nowhere and I think I lose. But is it 23 and I think I lose like 10 or maybe even more? Yeah. This cannot happen. Yeah, this is painful. So from 23 to 8, so I lost 15 villagers there. Poof. So now I have to be really careful. Like I need to kill villagers to more or less even this, or I think I will eventually lose the game. And he has a lot of idle time here, and even more here. So even if I have like 9 less villagers right now, my income is better, right? Due to the idle time and so on. Also, he always stood in 20 cows, right? That's interesting. So he doesn't really gather food, I guess. So blacksmith upgrades have catched up or even gotten slightly ahead. He is still, yeah. This upgrade I think is really valuable, right? And also the relic, he's getting it now. But I'm still like 50 supply ahead, right? Like triple the army income, and I have more or less even out the villager count, right? So I think this is a very good spot for me. But somehow the game got closer. Like I think I made a mistake at some point, and the game got close, really close. Yeah, so I really wanted him to get him out of stone. Like I didn't want to see a keep in this game. So I really want to pressure this point. Like there's no other stone for him to get, right? Like if he doesn't get stone from this, he just cannot get stone, right? Or shouldn't there be like a small stone vein somewhere? Just as I have this one. Where is his though? Cannot see it. Did it not spawn or is it this one? I guess it's this one, yeah. So it's really exposed, right? As opposed to mine. Oh, I ran out of cows here. That's really bad. So I'm not sure what happened here. This fight went really bad for me somehow. I guess his archers are really destroying my Musafadis, right? And I cannot attack move because if they attack so fast, it's terrible for me, right? I mean, it's not that bad for me, this fight. And in the meantime, I'm dealing with the units in the map, more or less. I should be protecting this. Now this is bad, right? I lose all these units, I guess. I still don't have the poison arrows, right? Did I? Okay, I clicked it now. Yeah, this is a mistake. Very, very important one. Musafadis are actually terrible against archers. I thought this was closer than it actually is. Maybe because the last time I made Musafadis was a few patches ago, I'm not sure. So he keeps sniping villagers here and there. But income is really similar because sites are really are better than relics, right? In terms of income. And I'm gathering the cows and so on. So, yeah. Now I'm floating a bit of gold. I think I just need to spam cows and kill them all the time so I can get like 10 corpses here or something. But now I notice he wasn't making Musafadis anymore, that it was pure Sofa archer. So I think it's my time to just spam Sofas, right? I think they will be very good for me in this spot because he cannot attack move anymore with the archers, because if they hit a sofa they are stuck attacking the sofa, and if you manually target the Musafadis you overkill a lot, right? So I just mix the 3 units now like sofa, but yes, like I was tripling his army supply, and now this looks like an even game, right? So he's managed to even out the game, and even he got this TC, which I don't think I ever scouted, right? But I think my Sofa transition caught him off guard. And he didn't have a Musafadis ready, if I recall correctly. Or not enough. I mean, he has a few, but I can target those with my archers, right? So I have 3 sides, which In terms of income, I guess I'm ahead. Or I mean, it's quite even, right? He's also getting a lot of gold. But supply is actually really close right now. But he has a few. Yeah, he has like 15 sofas in the map. I mean, I guess these will come back, right? But still, he has like 8 sofas in the map when I charge in. So also the Musafadis got in the front, so they are getting easily sniped by the archers, right? And with the reinforcements, I can deal with this. I lost a few villagers, but now he doesn't have any way to deal with these sofas. It's only archers left, right? He cannot make like even if he makes Donsos or Musafadis, I have enough archers to just one-shot them, right? So at this point, I think I should be able to overwhelm and destroy everything here and so on. And if I scout this, I can also clean it, right? So even though he's 10 villagers ahead, I don't. I can close the game right now, right? Yeah. Again, I think I hit my. Like if I didn't go for this attack, and if I played more passive, I think I would have been in a rough spot. Considering uh, he was like against these styles where they just raid with so many units, you don't have to be too afraid of just going for it. Hey, thank you, Ivan. If you tell a group of archers that might attack that unit, will they only target that unit? No, you have to shift click. Okay, so let's keep going. Let's check the build graph. Yeah, this is the Donso Rambai, right? Like, I'm not sure how I didn't realize. I think I was just too, like in my mind, the sofas that I was chasing were the only units in the map, right? Like, those Donsos I never really saw. And I guess I didn't react to the alert. Yeah, but this shouldn't happen, right? But still, in the end, I managed to. What is the scoreline now? Right now we are 3-2. At this point in the series, we are 3-2, and this is game 6, and it's yet another mirror, right? Like Delhi mirror this time. Yeah, I've noticed a lot of players are doing this now, like building the mosque before the meal, but I don't understand why. I mean, like it's like all of a sudden a few top players are doing this, so there must be a reason for it, but I just don't know why. Like in my mind, it's better to get the meal first, right? So you start with Barrow earlier. Like I guess you get the health upgrade faster in the long run, but is that upgrade important at all? Not sure. But anyways, doesn't matter too much, right? Pues de momento no, de momento no. At this point, my position in the tournament, I mean, it's hard to say. I already knew I would get to play Mongols against French in regions because there was, after this game, there was no other map for French, right? And I thought, even if there's no market there, I think that's a good matchup for Mongols. So I thought if I won any other game, I would pick Mongols in regions for sure and look for Mongol against French. And then if he went French here, I actually like Delhi against French, so I prefer Delhi Mirror. Actually, I'm not sure if I prefer Delhi Mirror over Delhi against French. I just practice Delhi against French quite a lot with Vortex and so on, so I actually like the matchup from both as French and as Delhi. Just the way the matchup plays, I enjoy it from both sides. In terms of balance, I think it's very close. Delhi against French. I don't know who I would give the edge to. But anyways, this is a Delhi mirror, right? Mm. So the early game is slightly different, but not a big deal at all. Like he goes for Mosque first, I get the mill first, either or. I think he goes for 3 on gold, right? I usually only get 2. But this kind of spawn where you get gold and berries really close is quite nice because you can balance your economy very easily. So I think my age up here is slightly faster maybe, or actually really close, right? The same, yeah, the same. So let's just speed this up a bit. And if Canal, you're okay with auto? Yeah, I think auto versus Mongols is probably good for Ottomans in Canal. I think I would give the edge to auto there. Like it's playable from both sides, but I think auto is stronger. This spawn was bad here because of the deer, you think? Or because the berries are really safe, right? Like both 2 berry packs are in the back, right? Whereas I only have 1 berry pack in the back and then both deer packs and the berries towards the front. So I don't think his spawn is worse than mine here. So he really rushed the stable here, like even before the lumber came, right? Like he wanted to get really quickly into horseman production, whereas I prioritize the upgrades here. I already seen he plays Delhi this way, like even in other matchups. Like you get the map control with this, you put pressure on villagers, and then you capture sites, right? But in Delhi Mirror, I don't know, because I think that's very good when your horsemen are faster than your opponent's cavalry, right? But if it's same speed like here, I can just snipe the scholars, I think. Uh, uh, uh. So he has more horsemen, right? But I'm just defending, right? And I have 2 upgrades going already. Whereas he's getting his first blacksmith now, right? I went for the archer upgrades. Maybe this was a mistake. Like I like this one, but maybe this could be bloomery, right? I'm not sure. I think I lost a villager here. Actually, no. I just kind of lucky, but this is a mistake from me. Like this shouldn't happen. I should keep track of his army. But my scout, like I was just checking the mosque, so I knew when he moved the scholars, right? Like I was constantly checking here 2 out of 5, right? So the scholars are in base, and as soon as there's 0 here, I know he's going for this side, right? So I have to make something about it. So now I knew the scholars had to be somewhere because they were in the mosque. So even if I'm not seeing them, I'm just moving around with the gassy riders. Like they have to be somewhere, right? But I guess he made a good job of not showing them. So now my 2 upgrades are kicking in, but they are completely useless in the fight right now, right? Because he only has gassy riders, right? And I went for these 2. Maybe I should have gone for this one first and then this. Yeah. So now I will have +1 range, which is amazing against archers, of course. And he won't have +1 damage. I mean, it's not that far off, right? Okay, trying to cap the site. But he's seeing my horsemen, right? So he knows there's only spearmen here, and therefore he moves out with 3 archers and denies it. This is a very good move. Like it may seem risky, but he has a very he has a lot of vision, right? He knows my cavalry isn't like here. Now I go for it. Do I? Or do I pull back in? He doesn't have +1 damage yet, so this is a good fight for me to take, I think. Especially once you close the distance, you can actually get a lot of things done here. So I kill a few archers, and now I think I can back, right? Mm, maybe I could. I don't know. It's really close. I think I like what I did, like just backing. Because he's only on one blacksmith, right? And later than mine. So eventually I will get all the upgrades and he will be on like one or two. So, and he doesn't have a single secret site neither, right? So I don't need to make anything happen, I think, right now. I can just wait for my upgrades. I haven't lost villagers yet this game, so that's nice. I was already into archers, like I kinda expected him. Wait, yeah. I expected him to switch into spearman, right? But he stood on archer horseman. So I made like 3 or 4 and then realized he wasn't making a spearman and just stopped, right? Also, yeah, I think now he gets a very good rate in my villagers, right? Like now I'm healing up a bit, I will get the sides. He moved around and I think I was just sending villagers towards the bottom. Yeah. He went for these ones and then found this. Now this is really bad for me. Like I think I lose like 3 or 4. That's terrible. A good targeting by him. Like he went for the one with low HP. So it's -4, right? That's actually massive. I do have a secret side, but it's still not uh, good enough of a compensation. But the great thing for me is that I have all my upgrades. So yeah, now I'm gonna go for this side. I should be rallying spearmen here. I know his horsemen are around, so it's just a matter of time that he gets here, right? So this spearman, first of all, this scholar should be in the racks, and the rally point should be here, because I don't need to be spread. I have 2 food sources here, right? So against someone who is playing with raids and so on, I can just stay here, right? I don't need to do this. I react really quickly at least this time. And now I think it's just a mistake by him. I think he really he has 6 horsemen in the map, right? Whereas most of my army is here, and I think this comp is better than horseman archer. So even if army value is slightly ahead for him, army value here I think is bigger for me, and I think my composition is counters his, right? But if instead of being here, he's just here right now, I think he's probably in a good spot this game. Like he eventually catches up with eco upgrades, he has a slight villager lead. He can add spearmen, right? But I think he was a bit too far in the map right now, and I just immediately went for it as soon as I saw this. Now you have to hit and run, eventually try to get this surround, but always attacking, right, with the horsemen. They deal a lot of damage. Now I think I get a surround here, I kill a few. And in the meantime, these horses are coming back, but yeah, he denied a bit my income, but this was... Also I have 2 sides, right, which is 250 resources per minute. Yeah, a bit similar to the Mali game. Like I'm losing some units to the raids, but I just then go for it and take the win, right? Hola, Lucía, ¿haces clases de coaching? No, de momento no he hecho, no. Muchas gracias por el sub, Dracon. Hey, Matt can Reese. Thanks, mate. Is Secret Side not 150? No, it got nerfed. It's 125 now. For Delhi. And yeah, the same again. I guess I could have tried to get raids going on here as well, right? Especially when your opponent is not playing a spearman. You should be looking for this kind of raids, right? Like for me, it's easier for me to defend the raids than it is for him when we go for these styles. But still, he was the one who got the raids going, right? Okay, so at this point, the series is 4-2, and I knew he had to play French on regions because the remaining maps were Golden Heights, regions, and Canal, right? So I knew he was gonna go French in regions. I think he expected me to pick Ottomans there. Um, yeah. Then this game, I thought for a while about getting Mongols here, but I just didn't want to risk getting like a Mongol mirror. And then I have to play Ottoman against French in regions and English against an English mirror in Canal, right? I felt that those three matchups were really even, so I wanted to have like at least a very good matchup for me in order to finish the best of 9, right? So that's why I reserve Mongols for regions. Because even if there's no trade, unless the spawn is really bad, I think Mongols should be favored in that matchup. I mean, that matchup was really good for Mongols even before trade become meta. So this game, uh, so I think in order to understand this game, you have to keep in mind my game against UMT in this same map and matchup. In that game, I just went with 3 villagers for the pond, right? So what's the counter for you going with 3 villagers to the pond? Going with 4 villagers, right? So I think that's why he played like this. But I had something else in, like, this was more or less improvised. Like, I thought about it before the game started. Like, I just scout his base. I count his villagers, and then I know how many he has pulled. He's pulled more like more than 3. I just go for a Rax and get men at arms, right? I just didn't expect the dog in the corner. But as soon as he doesn't see villagers from me in the map, um, he assumes it may be a men-at-arm opening, right? And then he redirects them to the corner. This is really smart. Like the like the quote-unquote greedy thing to do would be to just put your dog here, right? So you're closer to the deep fish. But he still went for the right call, I think, which is going to the corner. Now this wolf was really annoying. Thought it would leash if I moved a bit, but not the case. So he hasn't seen the racks, but I think he knows anyways because of my eco balance and the fact that I haven't been here and so on and so forth. Like you can kind of guess these things as a top player, I think. He has 4 villagers in Surefish, which is also really good, right? And he's ahead in the. Okay, so now he walls as soon as he sees the racks, right? I can never chop through, of course, because it's English villagers. They attack from afar. I mean, maybe if I try to chop through here, but not really. So yeah, at this point, when I saw this wall, I didn't like my spot. In hindsight, maybe I can just go faster for the dropship and try to kill the dog, right? And maybe it's good for me, actually. But I went for like a kind of a middle ground and it didn't work out, right? No, it was only Ruse ban because it's a best of 9, so we only had like 1 ban. Hey, Membreven, thanks so much. Now if I spam men at arms and even bring the scout here and really focus on killing the dog and denying a potential second dog with like an extra men at arm, maybe this is, or actually probably this is fine for me, right? Yeah. So yeah, I just misplayed it. I think this is actually playable, but I just didn't do it properly, right? I just needed to, like I didn't need to age up. I just had to realize I could just spam men at arms and kill the dog. So now I think it's quite bad for me. I guess this is fishing. His income has been better for a while. He has 2 dogs against my 1 dog. Try to put some pressure here in the goal, but there's no villagers in goal, right? Now I kick him out of short deep fish, but I think it's still fine for him. Uh, Poor balance by me. Like I shouldn't be this heavy on food at all. This is just bad. should be a bit heavier on gold and especially in wood, right? So this is a massive mistake right now. You will have like the classic, right? Like you're floating food, and instead of balancing your economy, you just queue like 1,000 villagers. So you see like 100 here, and you feel right. But yeah, this is a huge mistake. Um, like I hadn't been in this spot before, so these things can happen, right? When you don't know your spot. Although it's really obvious, right? That I don't need this much food. Like when you think about what I'm producing, longbowmen and boats and so on. Like I don't need 12 villagers plus the 4 fishing boats. Yeah. This repair was really annoying. Maybe if I had kept going, he would have run out of wood. Maybe, I'm not sure. Well, that hit. I don't know. I have the feeling in the same spot sometimes it won't hit the demo ship. I'm not sure. But even though like I think my micro was okay, but uh, yeah, I mean, this is like 1,000 food, right? Imagine if this was like 500 wood and a few gold. Then I think I would actually be in a good spot. So I think I really messed up with the macro here, the resource balance. I think that was a massive mistake, right? So I sniped this thing. But now he has a longbow lead, right? He's gonna kick me out of wood, and yeah, now it's really bad for me, I think. I still get good hits, I think, but the income is like you cannot micro yourself out of this spot, right? Like the resource balance is way more important here than just microing properly or properly, like just having good demo shots and so on. Right? Yeah, I have to be really careful with eco balance in this type of spots, I guess. Send this random longbow to be annoying, which I guess it was. Now he starts killing way more villagers, right? And then the eco gap is too big at this point. Yeah, like now he has like 2-4-1 against 1-3, so not much left to do here. I didn't even see the demo ship. He did really well there. GG. I think it was mostly he handled his economy better this game, right? I think. Muchas gracias, Dracon. Sí, me lo han preguntado a veces esto de las clases, pero de momento no lo estoy haciendo. And now let's go into the last game. I mean, this game, like the spawn was as good as it gets for me, I think. Thanks so much for the sub, Visual. Thanks so much. Like this is, like I don't think you can get a worse spawn as friends here. Like I think it's literally impossible, because you have 2 forward goals next to each other, and your deer pack is in the middle of the map, right? Like it doesn't get worse than this, I don't think. Even the stone is also in the front, right? And this one kinda gets denied by the tower. So yeah. Like it doesn't get any better, I think, for me. Like this spawn wise, right? I didn't find that many sheep with the can, like I just barely enough, right? I mean, in the end, I found this extra 3, but now I cannot really gather the ones here. Like I knew there had to be sheep here. It was 5, right? But I just don't have the time to get them. I need to, like I'm already late with the can. Like I need to scout my opponent's base to know where to tower, right? Now this villager, Like this wasn't intentional. I'm not. I guess it was in a control group or something, and I suddenly saw myself with two villagers, but I didn't hate it. Um, once I saw the spawn, because securing the tower here is massive, right? Like with one villager, it always goes up as well, right? Especially when he's going for this build, right? So there was no risk of the tower never going up, but still, yeah. Like this was a mistake. It delayed me for no reason, but it's fine. Like when you get this spawn, you can do pretty like as long as you build a tower here, you can do pretty much anything. I feel like in during the game. Is this straight up on Naval's friends? Yeah, I think so. I mean, in a between two players like a similar skill level, I think so. Yeah. So I'm aging up. I think this is a very reasonable timing for me. I have a minimum wood income, so I eventually get the stable, right? I do this spearman just to deal with the horseman. He decided to go for wheelbarrow instead of a knight. I mean, I guess it makes sense, right? Especially consider my spawn. Like the gold villagers are defended by the TC as well, right? I guess I could have placed the TC here, and then I would have been able to move the gear around to gather sheep, right? Because I think this was like I don't think I would have it would haven't taken me longer to put it here than here, so may as well just go for that, right? So at this point, I hadn't decided yet whether I wanted to go like feudal ramp push or just put pressure with K6 into Castellates. But when he started gathering stone, I realized I just needed to deny the TC going in the deer, right? Like if he places a TC anywhere else, I think he cannot stop my push, right? Like it was just I just had to deny the TC going from here. So I think as soon as I see him gathering stone, I go into an archery range, or very soon I assume I build it. I managed to snipe a villager here, which is nice, right? Also some idle time, so this delays the expansion, right? But I should be making the archery range already. I don't have the okay. There it goes. There. So now my goal in this game was just make sure he doesn't get a TC here, right? The game should be over. I was in deer also. Maybe I could get this upgrade. Just leaving like one spearman or two around just to defend the horseman, right? And then just wait for him to try to get the TC here. He was struggling with wood, right? Has he gotten gold somewhere, or why is this 66 now? Ah, he has a mark. Yeah. Yeah, this is how bad the spawn is, right? Like, yeah, this is really. I never showed. I don't think he's in the. I mean, I don't think he's in the archers yet. I didn't really show them, and he has been raiding in the back. So he doesn't have horsemen here, right? Now suddenly I have a way to deal with the spearmen and deny the TC. I didn't get a bounty for this. I should have clicked it, I guess. So he's now trying to kill my archers with his archers, right? But as soon as I deal with the spearmen, my Keshiks can just. And now I deny the TC. I'm ahead in workers, right? Which is really uncommon in this matchup. I still have like one or two spearmen around. Just make sure nothing happens in my economy, and then I think. And now I decide that okay, he will most likely make his TC somewhere else and try to play from there. So he shouldn't like be able to hold a ramp push, right? Because he didn't have access to gold, so no upgrades for him. Um, no good income neither, right? Because the deer is the knight. So like I thought maybe farms, right? But he had this very pack here. But anyways, I don't think it should be possible to hold a ramp push now, right? But I think even if I go into Castle Age, I think it's perfectly fine as well, right? I go to Castle, get the upgrades, and then attack with those. And someone who cannot gather gold, I think that should be a win as well. But I don't know. I just really thought this should be impossible to hold, so I just went for it. Yes, he's had to invest in a few farms. Meanwhile, I'm gathering deer. Right. So my income here should be. I mean, doesn't look that good for some reason. I guess these are about to drop off, right? But my income here should be better, right? And my army supply as well. Right? Like again, I feel like this game was. There was like once this tower goes up, I don't think there's any. There should not be any way for the French player to win, especially when the deer pack is here too, right? Like again, as bad as it gets for him in terms of spawn. TMD, thanks so much. Do you ever chat with? Not really. Um, it's not common, no. I think you're just focusing on the tournament, so you don't really chat during. I mean, during games you don't chat for sure, and between games, not really. So yeah, he was forced to constantly trade in order to get gold. Also, he was running out of food, right? Completely. Like he was, what can he do now? Like he's forced into farms, right? I do have a few units here and there, like an archer here, and I had a Keshik here. I had as well, just making sure he doesn't have like random units in the map gathering food. Like it's really important that he just doesn't get like 10 random villagers here, and I just don't punish it, right? So now I think like his food income uh, is going to stop, right? So he won't be able to reinforce anymore. He kind of has to build farms right now, but he's being attacked at the same time. So this is just a really rough spot. Meanwhile, I'm on board, still gathering some deer. GG. And that was the last game of the series, right? Like 5-3. The reverse result compared to Golden League to finals where we played. And also my first major tournament win AoE4. And I actually learned earlier that this is the first major tournament not won by either Marinlord or Beastie since Hera's win in Winter Championship, right? Which was January 2022, right? So barely after the game was released. So yeah, we're all really happy with my performance in this tournament. I would also like to check my games against Marinlord, but I would have to do so from the browser, right? Because most of the only 2 games remain here. I think that series was also really cool in terms of build orders, especially. I think like the mountain clearing build order, I think was really something I came up with, like really cool, and a few others. But yeah, maybe I will do that in the future. But in terms of the finals, these were the games. Very dynamic games, I think. I think I've improved in terms of actually knowing when I can commit to attack and when I cannot. Like in the past, like I would consider myself an aggressive player, but I think in this tournament I've learned exactly when I have to go for the kill and when I have to play more greedy or more, like for instance the Holy Island game, right? Like all my eco upgrades were faster, I think. So I feel like I've adapted a bit. Like I still like my dynamic or active or aggressive style, whatever you want to call it. But maybe a bit. I'm now a bit smarter about it, right? Like when to go for it, when to not go for it, and so on. you have to, at the end of the day, you have to play the matchup, right? Even if you like certain styles more or less, you can only do so much, right? Like there's still the correct way to play every matchup, right? In terms, like there's a limit in how aggressive or how defensive you can be. But we're really happy with my performance there, and hope you enjoyed the quick or the analysis, right? A bit sad that the PC, that the power went off during the middle of it, but yeah, it is what it is. Okay, so